Good afternoon, micro followers. We are approximately 14 hours into treatment for a suspected egg-bound hen named Kelly. Just took her out of her second soak. This time I really laid it on. Last night I just wanted to make sure that her behind got wet real good and enough to relax her. And today I decided like she was legit going swimming. So I got her completely submerged in the warm water. I did not put Epsom salt in this bath. This one I just used oregano only for the antimicrobial, antibacterial properties. So she looks like a drowned rat right now, but I have made sure that everything is absolutely clean. So at this point, I have actually done all I can do. So I will allow her to stay in the house for the remainder of the day. Check her later on to make sure she is fully dried. And then at bedtime, when all of the other girls go into the coop, I will be putting her back in with the flock. And I know a lot of people are like, I can't believe you're going to put a sick chicken back in with the flock. Being egg bound is not contagious. So she literally is showing zero other symptoms of anything else that could be wrong. There's no sneezing, there's no discharge. The droppings are normal. So I don't have any reason to suspect that she has anything contagious. There are no mites, there are no lice. Her comb and wattle are colored beautifully. There's no scaly legs going on. So which is another reason why I assumed that this was egg bound. So I have no other reason to suspect anything is wrong with her. I don't know. Maybe she was just totally bummed out because of the weather change. I know that drastic temperature changes can affect birds in different ways. You know, we did have those 3 or 4 days of beautiful 50, 60-degree weather. It was almost hot outside when the sun was shining. And then literally, welcome to Ohio. Overnight, we went into the single digits during the nighttime and low 19 to 22s during the day, which is where we currently sit. So I don't know, maybe it was just this, little spat of depression because of the temperature change. The guys are working on the roof of the enclosure. Maybe that spooked her a little bit. I don't know. I was feeling around in the abdomen when I had her in the tub today. I still don't feel anything out of the norm. You can feel the bone structure of the abdomen. There's no bulge like where an egg would be stuck. Last night when I did the insert of the olive oil, I did not feel anything at the opening, so close to the opening. And today when I gave her a bath, I paid special attention to the rear end to make sure everything was completely clean and everything felt and looked normal, and it does. So I hate to sound so negligent maybe, or just like jumping the gun, but I'm going to let her dry and I'm going to put her back out with the flock at nighttime, tonight at bedtime, because I am completely out of ideas. Now, on the upside, so with everything that I just said, let's skip back now and pretend that I'm just starting the video. The good news is I put hot pepper seeds and oregano, fresh oregano, in the cage this morning, and she devoured them both. And I put some applesauce and bread, like I soaked the bread in applesauce and gave that to her. She ate it. Now, it wasn't a whole lot, but she ate it. I still have yet to see her drink, so that one I'm still kind of keeping an eye out for. She may have done it and I didn't see it, but I physically haven't watched her drink. So at this point, being yesterday, with the assumption of her being egg bound, this is what has happened so far. I noticed 2 days ago, she was very slow moving. She was eating, even though it was in little amounts. Yesterday, not eating and was pretty much hiding in the corner. as little movement as possible. Matter of fact, when I went out to the enclosure to get her, she didn't even put up a fight. She took 3 steps and then she just stood there. She's not sitting, as far as I can see. Like I said, she might have slept in a sitting position all night long and I didn't have the slightest clue. She's been covered. So, there's your symptoms. Literally everything else is running perfectly fine. So, what has happened so far? I brought her in last night. I gave her an Epsom salt warm bath. The Epsom salt did have coconut oil in it. I oiled the interior and exterior of the vent with olive oil. That way, if anything was lodged, it would help it out a little bit as far as keeping the area lubricated. I also supplemented calcium that has vitamin D in it. The reason behind the oregano: antibacterial, antimicrobial, kind of like, now not to be mistaken or replaced for an antibiotic for a chicken. Okay, so it kind of does a similar thing there, internal and external, so which is why I put the oregano in her bath water today. So she has had that. The red pepper flakes or seeds are known to be beneficial, kind of like the probiotic of a human, for the intestinal tract and like worms and that sort of thing, but they're high in antioxidants and nutrients, so win-win there. The vitamin D, the calcium with the vitamin D in it, was given to her because obviously the calcium is egg production, but it kind of goes beyond that. The vitamin D and the calcium work hand in hand. If you don't have a supple amount of vitamin D to go along with your calcium, then the body is not absorbing that calcium and phosphorus, actually. So you end up with issues like osteoarthritis or lash egg, or, the rubber eggs. Some people call them fart eggs. So, and also, when you have an egg-bound hen, that calcium, which is kind of like Pitocin in a human when they're in labor, that calcium helps with the contractions, the bearing down of the bound egg. So she has had calcium supplements with vitamin D in it. To top it off as a final insurance, I guess you could say, I gave her some vitamin B complex. And vitamin B complex, any kind of vitamin B, all vitamin Bs are good for chickens. So we're talking about nervous system health, immune health. There's just so many, metabolism, just so many benefits for the vitamin B for a chicken. So I did give her about, I think it was a half a milliliter of vitamin B12. And I do believe, like I said, it's complex. So I think that means it's got the 6 in it also. So that is what we have done up to this point. She has had 2 baths. She's had a calcium and vitamin D supplement. She's had the B complex supplement. She's had oregano. She's had the hot pepper seeds. We have just given her the works. And she's still aware. She's still bright-eyed. She's still doing her thing. She's just not laying an egg and not like, very excited or anything. Well, she never really was. She just had an attitude. She was an attitude chicken. She wasn't really like a activity chicken. But because I have no other reason to suspect anything wrong with her, I'm going to go ahead, let her completely dry off, put her back out there at bedtime. And then we're just going to play it by ear, because I have literally evaluated this girl from beak to tail tip, and I don't have any other ideas. I have no idea what else it could possibly be. Like I said, so I'm throwing punches in the dark, kind of like thinking like, well, maybe it was just a weather issue. So, on the other hand, here's kind of a really crazy confession, especially 14 hours into this situation. I'm not 110% sure that she was an active layer. But there's a lot of times where a hen will get egg-bound trying to lay her first egg. So either way, I assumed that because of her behavior that she was egg-bound. But I had to do some digging on when she was actually hatched out. This is actually Gretchen's hatch out from last year. She's only 7 months old. So there's a good possibility that she's either just started laying or maybe even hasn't started yet. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. I purchased the eggs from somebody in a nearby city, and from the looks of it, the educated guess is Easter Egger and brown leghorn. So, but my barred rock is the one that hatched her out. So, I'm kind of, I'm at a loss at this point. I don't know what else to do for her. And, she is perking up a little bit. So obviously, I mean, now that, she's eating, she didn't have a first problem taking care of those seeds or the oregano this morning. And like I said, she nibbled a little bit on the applesauce bread. So I am getting nutrients into her body at this point. I will probably supplement her one more time before I take her back out into the flock tonight. So that is the current update on Kelly. I know that's not going to be a very long saga, considering that this is only the third time that I've posted on YouTube about her. I got a couple things on the Facebook page where I went live earlier. Feel free to jump over there and check those out. But for the most part, I'm out. Like I'm empty on ideas. I have no idea what else to do with her. So if you guys can think of anything, or you know of anything, or have any suggestions, opinions, any of it, please feel free to comment below. Nobody likes to see their livestock uncomfortable, and even though she's showing, great signs of being in better spirits, I just want that feeling of knowing 110% I'm not going to go out to do chores one morning and have a deceased bird. So if you guys have anything that might give a good lead or to help me out, please do comment below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It keeps me motivated to keep going. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep following. I love you guys, and have a great day.